Hello everyone, Ryan here. I was recently tagged by Jess of Rebel Reads, and she tagged me to do the tag which is called Bookish Bookin book tag. And there's about, I believe, 15 questions. So just get right into it here. Number one, what is a well-loved book that you hated? I guess that would be Twilight. Number two, what is a guilty pleasure book? I don't know if I actually have any books that I consider to be a guilty pleasure. I don't know, unless Dr. Seuss books count on. Number three, have you ever spoiled a book for someone? No, I never have. I never will. I don't believe in spoiling books or movies or TV shows. Number four, what book made you ugly cry? There hasn't really been a book that's made me cry, but I will say there's probably been a couple that I felt were really touching. Most notably for me would be Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. The ending to this really surprised me, and I found it to be really touching. So if you haven't read it, I do recommend it. Trust me, you'll like it. It'll really, if the ending doesn't get to you, then I would say you're probably not human. So, next question. Number five, what is your latest DNF? I believe DNF stands for did not finish. I don't really have any latest do not finish or did not finish. Number six, which book have you read due to controversy? 50 Shades of Grey. And I know that book was supposed to be considered widely controversial, and I didn't really find it to be that controversial. And not only that, I couldn't get through most of it. I don't know, I guess that could be considered my DNF, did not finish. Yeah, but it wasn't really that recent. Next question. Number seven, have you read a book where you questioned the author's sanity? Yeah, definitely. In fact, I believe I've read about a handful of books where I questioned the author's sanity. But as far as books that I happen to own a copy of, I would say Prozac Nation by Elizabeth Wurtzel. And if you're not familiar with this book, it's a memoir / autobiography about Elizabeth Wurtzel, and pretty much details her life from childhood to early adulthood, and her struggles with being pretty much clinically depressed, or in other words, she's eventually diagnosed as a manic depressive. Unfortunately, she isn't correctly diagnosed until the mid to late 80s, because up until that time, before then, there was no way to accurately diagnose people with manic depression or other mental illnesses that are similar to depression / manic depression. So yeah, and even though I understand that she was struggling with this illness, there were still a lot of moments when, it made me question whether she was also not only a manic depressive, but also probably could be considered to be clinically insane as well. And so yeah, it's a good read too. I do recommend reading it if you haven't already. Prozac Nation. And of course, there's also a movie adaptation. Christina Ricci plays Elizabeth Wurtzel. Of course, the movie, they condensed too much of the story. So, next question. Okay, number 8. What is the most cringeworthy book you've read? I'd say Twilight again. Number 9. What book have you read solely due to the cover? I don't think I've ever really read a book just based on the cover, unless you count I mean, even if I see a cover that looks somewhat interesting, I pick it up and I flip through the first chapter or the introduction. I don't know if that counts. So I mean, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'm not particularly drawn to a book solely because of its cover. So, next question, number 10. Name a book you're embarrassed to admit you've read. I would say definitely Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey. 11. Name an unknown book you wish more people knew of. I don't know. Unknown book. Actually, I would say I wish more people knew about my own novel, my first novel that I tried to, of course, get published quite some time ago, some years ago. It's titled Aperture. I believe I mentioned it in maybe one or two other videos. I don't know. Maybe I should start mentioning it a lot more. But my novel, it's titled Aperture. It's available for free download, and so yeah. I mean, because I spent about 3 years writing it and editing it. So yeah, it's available for free download. If you want to download it, I'll provide a link to that. So, Aperture. Next question, number 12. Name a favorite villain. I don't know if I really have a favorite villain. I don't think I really have a favorite villain. I mean, I enjoy the aspect, seeing that dichotomy between villain and hero, and I don't really, I enjoy that concept of villain, hero, villain, but I don't really have a favorite. Next question, name a book you enjoyed that you read that is outside the norm of genre you usually read. So for me, I guess that would happen to be Unnaturally Delicious by Jason Lusk. I recently read this and reviewed it. It's all about the future of bioengineered food and different agricultural technologies. And it's pretty interesting. At least the first half is interesting. The second half is heavy on numbers and statistics and all that stuff. It's definitely outside of the norm of what I would usually read, but I won it in a Goodreads giveaway, my first book that I've won in a Goodreads giveaway. So, yeah, Unnaturally Delicious. Provide a link to my review of this as well. So, moving on, next question. Name tropes you actually enjoy reading. So I guess, again, that would be for me the whole hero-villain thing, and even anything that has to do with, like, say, a hero who becomes an anti-hero, or an anti-hero who becomes a hero, or even a villain who becomes a hero, or a hero becomes a villain, stuff like that. And last question, what or who inspired you to join Booktube? Pretty much just my love for books and the fact that I really don't have any friends that like to read as much as I do, or even read at all. And yeah, I just wanted to join an awesome community of book lovers, of people who appreciate the written word. So that's the main reason why I decided to join Booktube. So yeah, there you go. Those are my answers for this tag. And I guess now it's my turn to tag other people. So I'm gonna go ahead and tag some people that I haven't tagged yet. Well, maybe one of them I've already tagged before, but I'm gonna tag Lego of my books. I've been watching a lot of his videos lately. He's a pretty funny guy. He's also got some keen insight into particular titles, and so yeah, Lego of my books. I tag him, and also I'm going to tag Cody from PIMP Book Reviews. He's another cool booktuber. And And I'm also going to tag Laurie from LauriesEuphoria. She's a pretty cool booktuber, and yeah, that'll do it. And of course, anybody else, if you happen to be watching this and it looks like a cool tag, I tag you, I guess. Go right, feel free to do it. And that'll do it for this video. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to everybody who's subscribed so far. And until next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.